So hi, welcome to Nice Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Monday.
Happy fucking Monday, dude.
It's a
Sun
good
is
Monday.
shining. It's night, but the sun was shining today. And it was cold as shit. But it looked refreshing outside. Did it go out? No, but it looked good.
I'm glad it looked refreshing for you because it was also cold as shit here. But in New Jersey, we got snow last night.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and my brother was so nice. He cleaned off most of my car this morning when he was out shoveling because he just loves the snow. And
Hell yeah.
the schools were off
Childlike
today for Martin Luther King Day. So he was around.
Okay.
But I went outside later in the day to drive my car because I had somewhere to be, and
Okay.
just a sheet of ice everywhere. My car, a sheet of ice. The ground, a sheet of ice. Fuck this weather. Fuck the snow. That's where I'm at right now.
I'm glad you're alive, man, because icy roads scare the shit out
The
of me. I don't
roads were
drive.
fine. The roads
Oh.
were fine. It's
What
just
the fuck are you talking about then?
like there were parts of snow that were mist that turned into ice. We don't like salt the ground, like the driveway for some reason. So they're like the one part where my car was parked, the sun doesn't hit.
Oh.
So it was like a death trap right there. And
Yeah.
that's where my driver's
Immediate
side door
slip.
was. Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like holding onto my door handle while I was trying to chip the ice off of my car. Because
Yeah,
like I
that's
don't want
funny
it
as
to
fuck.
melt and then fly off and hit the person behind me trying to be a good citizen here,
Yeah. Of course, looking out for, love thy neighbor, all that shit.
Yeah, looking out for the other people on the road because I wouldn't want that shit to happen to me. I'd be pissed.
Absolutely not. Crazy
So
shit would happen.
yeah, so yeah, fuck this weather, fuck the snow. I like the snow when it first comes down, and then I hate the part where you have to shovel it, and then the part where it gets ugly, like 2 hours after it
The pretty
falls.
part.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the part where
You're
it's
like
actively
it's
falling.
snow.
Yeah.
Oh, snow. And then it sets in. It's like, oh, fuck, snow.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's just fucked
can't
my
drive
entire day
anymore.
up.
Yeah. Life.
Life, man.
Balance.
Life and balance for sure. I feel that.
Talk about it.
Yeah. No shows for me this past week. It's weird. It's a slow start to the year for sure. I'm anticipating a lot of tour announces over the next couple of weeks. Like last week was the first week where the industry was like really fully back, which is so it's so fucking wild to say. Like what, a week or two here. I went to go check my calendar to see if I was right, and I opened the weather app instead. Whatever.
What's the temperature, Shane?
It's 19 degrees out, in case you were wondering.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
nice here.
That's awful. Fucking hell, dude. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
So things are slowly getting back into the full swing of things, but only been back a couple of weeks. So I'm anticipating a lot of tour announces. Starting tomorrow into the end of the month, and obviously continuing onwards, but a slew of them. I noticed Beartooth gave an eyes emoji, like quote tweeted the Shinedown tweet about their new song coming out tomorrow, with the eyes emoji, because it would make sense for a band of that size, Shinedown, to do a lot of announces alongside singles. So I don't know what that means. I don't think Beartooth was just giving the eyes emoji with the quote tweet out of the kindness of their heart. I'm thinking
No, I think they're just really excited too. They're just like, guys, what's happening?
I'm excited too. I can't even lie. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm thinking that's going to be something that happens, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to be there.
That would be a crazy lineup already. That's Beartooth and Shinedown.
Yeah.
I wonder who okay.
Yeah.
I would like to see what else is put on there, because in my head those are two different fucking categories, but now where Beartooth is now, it fits.
Kind of lines up. Yeah.
Weird.
But it would be super cool because Beartooth just did their first hometown headlining show in an arena over the weekend, so it would be super cool to see them get an opportunity like that. And I think it's possible. All jokes, but typically the bands don't do that shit out of the kindness of their heart. It's not like they're on the same label or even remotely connected.
No correlation.
Yeah. And for Shinedown to make more than one announcement tomorrow, not just singles, would track. I could see all of that happening tomorrow. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I had my own concert this weekend, just listening to more Cane Hill. I've been really digging A Piece of Me I Never Let You Find, the newest record. You know, that's what got me into the band. Fucking awesome. But I've been diving further back in the discography because it's a little bit more like new metalcore, like new metal and metalcore. And dude, fucking awesome.
Sorry for the virgin ears that I just hurt with that, by the way.
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm sorry.
Glory reads the comments, guys.
I read the comments, and if I don't see them in time, Shane sends them to me.
This morning, 9:00 in the morning, I'm absolutely clocking Glory with the comment section.
Like, Jesus Christ, guys. I can't say fuck on my own podcast. I can't say the F word on my own podcast.
Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck. It's like, guys, I'm talking to grown-ass people. If I was talking to, like, a child, you know, I'd censor myself. But these are...
Like when we did the Wiggles interview. We were so good.
We both did really good on... I think you said hell, like, once, but you cut it out.
Yeah.
And that was...
We were so good. We can...
So it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
What do you got an alarm going off for 7:26 p.m. on a Monday?
Text notification. Sorry. I'm down so fucking bad.
Can this be the clip?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, fucking making the move.
It sounded like an alarm, bro.
He doesn't double text. I'm just gonna toss your Big fan of that guy. Big fan.
I would piss myself.
That just scared the shit out of me.
Holy shit. That's so awesome. That's so great. But yeah. Coming up for me, I got Shades Apart on Saturday. They're celebrating 25 years of their record Eyewitness. I was on the team to release that album on vinyl for the first time, so I'm very excited to finally hear it in full live. I had a call with the bass player Kevin on Friday, and I was like, because my boss and him are similar in age, and I was like, when you're on stage, just remember that one of the people on your team helping you to release this album on vinyl for the first time to celebrate 25 years, and you know you're celebrating 25 years on stage of the album, one of the people on your team for this is younger than the record you're playing in full. And he was like, Shane, if I could remember that while also trying to remember the lyrics of the album, I would, but I have to remember how to play the songs.
But I don't remember any of this shit, honestly. It's been 25 years. That's so honestly, that's real as fuck.
Yeah.
That's real as fuck. He's like, man, I wish I could, but I know I can't. That's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm planning to probably see TX2 next Wednesday, because I had such a great time the first time I saw him, and the lineup's great. So that's what I got. That's what I got coming up. But yeah, we're gonna dive into it here. Got some records to chat about, singles, you know, the vibes of the beginning of the year, lots of singles to dive into. So we're gonna start off here with the Maine. They dropped their new album Died 2008 to 2023, collection of 9 unreleased tracks from their 9 studio records, 1 song from each album. One thing I've always liked about the Maine, now you are the big Maine fan here. I am just a spectator.
Since 2017. Yeah. Let's talk about it. John, come on the podcast. Sorry. I am just a spectator. I have seen them live a bunch. I respect the hustle and the grind and their music, but it's not something that I really listen to on the regular. One thing I have always admired about them is their fan service. They're very much engaged with their fans. You know, the big festival that just happened, 8123 Fest. God, I want to do it that so bad.
Dude, I want to be there, and I'm not even like a massive fan. It just seems like a fantastic like community event, because they do so much more than just have bands play for 2 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always something that I've really admired about them, even the way they interact on social media, how real they are on social media, on stage, just as people to their fans, is always something I really admired. So I think that this project, albeit not necessarily for me, is something super awesome. Kind of reminds me, it kind of reminds me of like the Water Parks demos, you know, when it was like, get this to X amount of likes and retweets and we'll drop the demos record. That's kind of what this feels like, is like, because that was like a fan service in a way. This is also, you know, for the fan service kind of thing. So really liking that fan service today. But I like the songs. To me, there is a run on this record towards the end that does kind of feel like the same song in several different fonts. But the beginning half is cool.
You can distinguish.
I dig it. I can distinguish. They feel like different songs, but towards the end, I wanted to know what this project was. I just like saw they put something new out, put it on the playlist, and I was like, I'll figure out what this is later.
I'll look later.
It's new music, so I'll just figure it out later. On first listen, I honestly didn't know that they were like supposed to be songs from different eras, because of the back half of it is what I was freshest in my mind. So I'm thinking I heard 3 songs in a row that sound exactly the same. So yeah, I enjoy the first half. Overall, I think it's solid. You know, I can see why some of these songs ultimately didn't make the cut for their respective records, but I think it's super cool, and there are some genuinely solid tracks on this album.
Absolutely. I think it's a great record, through and through. I'm not as familiar with the Maine's older work. Anything before American Candy, I'm kind of out of the loop on. And then everything after, fucking millions of streams. Let's talk about it. The albums from their previous records, everything before American Candy, are older. So obviously the mixing, mastering, it's not going to sound as crisp as their newest record. Completely fair, but again, that's a thing for me where it makes it just a little bit harder. Unless I'm like in love with the band, I'm very hesitant to listen to records that aren't mixed as well as their most recent stuff. So being able to hear their older sound and some of their older tracks, but in a more refined, like modern mixing style, incredible. And it makes me want to revisit their older records, because I've tried. Have I tried? Does not work for me. Oh man, have I tried. But it's awesome. I fucking love this band. Like, I flew across the country to see them perform Sweet 16 tour, their final date on that for their hometown show. They're one of my favorites, top 5 easily. And this was a wonderful surprise, because there was no like announcement, it was just, hey guys, here's an album from spanning our entire career.
The festival.
Exactly. I would have lost my fucking marbles if I did go to that festival, because I would have been like, holy shit. I also would have been a little mad, because I'm like, I don't know any of these lyrics.
So many people in the comments were like, how am I supposed to learn an entire album in 2 days?
In 2 fucking days. That's when you bring just the lyrics printed out. That's the shit I did at fucking Avenged Sevenfold, because I didn't know the lyrics, so I literally had the lyrics up on my phone, because I was like, I'm front row. I don't want to look like a fucking idiot in front of M Shadows.
That's such a deep piece of glory lore. I had no idea.
Dude, M Shadows was looking at me, man. I can't just fucking look back, you know?
That's so awesome.
So yeah, incredible record. I loved it a lot. I completely understand what you're saying. They do kind of have a shift in their discography completely, where they found their groove, where it's that pop punk love song vibe. And that's just them, man. So it's just, it does get a little difficult to distinguish, like, which era is this supposed to be from? Because this all sounds the fucking same. But it's great, and I love it. My favorite is Colored in Blue, and then in parentheses, Dyed Yellow. It's from 2021. I'm pretty sure that's the You Will Be Okay record. Again, that's one I wasn't able to get into. I forgot about Sticky. They dropped so many albums. Like,
look at me knowing the Maine lore, bro.
More than me, which is because I'm the Maine fan here. So it's fuck, I need to do better. Shit. I love that song a lot. I think it's incredible. That was added to my playlist immediately. And I really enjoyed Don't Light the Match, and then in parentheses, Dyed Black. incredible record, a lot of fun, really cute to see them kind of evolve in real time. It's great. It's so cool. I love the Maine.
My favorite was also Don't Like the Match. That was the one I came away with being like, that's a banger.
That's exactly.
But you know, to your point about like the older stuff being, you know, still kind of having that vibe, but having the new production being able to be recorded in the modern age, per se, kind of gives me the vibes of when Motionless in White did that Creatures X song to celebrate 10 years of Creatures, where they wrote a song in the vibe of Creatures and then recorded it to have the vibe of Creatures, but doesn't sound mixing and mastering wise anything
it's like a hot piece of trash.
like Creatures. That's kind of that's what that reminded me of when you said that. So I just wanted to make a note of that. But solid record. If you're a fan of the Maine, this is something you'll definitely dig. If you're not a fan, if you're not a fan of the Maine, you might still like it, but it's not so much meant for you.
This is meant for the fans, guys. But like actually, which is so cool. You don't see these types of releases often. Everything's commercial now. Yeah. So everything is, you got to make this for the masses, but this is made for
the fans,
fucking people.
Yeah. Get into the band and then check this out.
Exactly. And it's not that hard because they make fucking crazy music. God, I love them. Diva Bleach dropped their new album, Can You Keep a Secret?
Yes, I can.
Fucking Diva Bleach, bro. You can?
Yeah, I can.
Fuck, what's that song? Oh my god, that's the fucking MGK song with featuring Corpse, where it's like, if I tell you a secret, can you keep it? Do you remember that shit?
No,
that was a
but
crazy era.
I'm not surprised that you do.
It was a bad era for me because I liked both Machine Gun Kelly and Corpse music at the same time. I don't know how I made it out of there. I genuinely, I don't.
Tough.
No, it was low. Incredible record. Vibes are fucking immaculate. I wish this was released closer to summer. Their just vibe is very late spring, early summer for me. So for me, winter, I'm like, fuck, dude, I want to be outside frolicking listening to this shit.
For real.
It's cold. There's ice on the streets.
19 degrees out today.
I'm gonna break something if I frolic to this. I can't do that. So, fuck. Incredible record, though. Honestly, I think every fucking song on here is noteworthy. I definitely, the second half is my favorite. So everything after Make It Stop, so that run of Make It Stop, Torn in Two, Cross My Heart, I Like You, and Hate Me. Fuck. It's just, they knew what they were doing. One after another. Incredible record. I've grown to fully love this band because we interviewed them. I liked them. I said, yeah, you guys know what you're fucking doing, but I'll be here and I'll be waiting. Dropped this shit. You got me.
Sold.
Fully.
Sold.
Locked in.
Locked the fuck in.
Mm-hmm.
Locked all the way in. Yeah. This record's really cool. As Glory said, we had them on the podcast. We chatted about Out of My Head, which was the single almost 2 years ago, which is wild to think. And obviously I've been following them on social media. We didn't cover the rollout. We just had them on to talk about the single, and now we're chatting about the record. But I have seen the singles as they've been rolling out, hearing the clips. Kiss Her Goodbye is a song that would routinely get stuck in my head because it is so catchy, and that's honestly the vibe of this entire record. Is just really good catchy choruses. 100% agree with you about the frolicking, although you would never catch me frolicking. It's something that I could think about doing in my mind to this record. That's about as far as I'll get.
Okay.
One thing I really enjoyed about this album is the seamless transitions throughout the entire track list, not trying to fade the songs into each other, where you totally could listen to one song and then listen to a different one if that's how you wish to listen to the record. But there's this cohesiveness where it does flow together. There's not a ton of time in between each song, and they just keep the record moving and flowing, and that really
moving. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. And that really helps with the flow of the album. There are no slow songs. It's all high energy, in your face, keeping the momentum going. But that was one thing that I noticed from the get-go. I was like, they're really keeping it moving, and I dig that for sure.
Sure, appreciated.
Yeah, my favorites are Kiss Her Goodbye, Out of My Head, and I Like You. But this was fun because it's as I mentioned, been following the band, was familiar with a couple of the songs, but didn't really listen to the singles. So it was like I had those like the buoys like we've talked about, like, but not as many as I normally have, despite the amount of singles. And the record is it's such an easy thing to get. Like this album in particular is such an easy album to get into. Like I was into it within a couple of songs, despite not really knowing what was next. I think that that's really something to say about the listening experience on this record. Is like you can just turn it on, and if it's your kind of music, you're going to be into it right away. It's not it's not anything that like you're taking on this colossal, mammoth to try to take this record in. It's a very fun record to listen to, which I vibe with. Overall, a big fan of this record. Stoked to see where this takes the band, because they've been doing great things since they signed to In Vogue, but I really hope that this album propels them forward, like big time.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I want to see them fucking crush it.
Eidola dropped their new album Mend. Dude, have been digging Eidola's stuff, especially Eviscerate, because that record, as we established on the review in the interview we did with the band, the heaviest stuff
and
that the band has done.
Album of the year discussion as well.
Yes, because that was on Glory's list. Heaviest stuff the band's ever done. We had been covering the band before that. We were familiar with them. Definitely a sick vibe. The very intricate twinkly guitars is something that I dig, and but it's not something that I listen to on the regular, because I feel like I have to put a little bit more like of my focus into listening and understanding the music, and I don't always have that. Sometimes I just want to mindlessly listen to something that doesn't require my attention to like really understand the detail in the music. But I felt like Eviscerate got heavier and, was that kind of record where if I needed to take a listen that was a little less focused solely on, like so much on the music, I could. And I feel like they continue that with Mend. It's still Eidola, but it continues to be a different vibe than what we know Eidola to be before this double record, this double album, which I think is so awesome. As they mentioned, this is the back half, the slower, easier, softer side. They were going super heavy and super light, and I think they really achieved that.
They did, for sure. Yeah.
Now I like a good intro track, but I'm not typically someone that puts a lot of stock into it. I want to hear the meat and potatoes of the record.
But just get into it.
But Brahman, Garden of Eden might be one of the best intro tracks I have ever fucking heard, because it is 2 minutes long, which typically I'd be like, why the fuck do you have a 2 minute long intro? But I think that it perfectly sets the tone for the album, that the album then continues throughout the rest of the record and does not deviate from the tone that was initially set by the intro 45 minutes before the last song hits. It's like it was perfectly crafted to get you in the headspace of what you're about to experience, and it just fucking cruises. And the album fits into this vibe that is built with this 2 minute instrumental intro track, which I just think is so fucking dope. And then Prodigy is just, then further continues to set that tone for the rest of the record. Now, you like to throw out of left field comparisons at me from time to time, and I always look at you like, what in the actual fuck are you talking about? So, but I get to do that now. It's my turn to do that.
Oh, okay, fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to give you the look and be like, what the fuck are you talking?
Prodigy feels like a Justin Timberlake song. Not super popular pop Justin Timberlake, a little bit more deep cut Justin Timberlake.
I'm gonna tell Sergio. I'm gonna block you like immediately. That's like, honestly, no. I feel like they'd bring that shit up. They'd be like, I kind of want like a little Justin Timberlake moment. I don't know. I'm not a Justin Timberlake enjoyer.
Like, I don't know the way that like Andrew was.
I know Sexy Back. That's all I know.
The way Andrew was like floating on the song, because it feels like he's fucking literally floating on the instrumental of the track. It just felt like the vocal delivery was something that I would hear in like a off of the record Sexy Back Is On, like a deep cut off that record, is like how I would. Don't laugh, I'm trying to be serious right now.
Song. It's just so dumb.
Is like the kind of vocal delivery that I would expect from a deeper cut off of that record. If you can't tell, I enjoy Justin Timberlake as well as as heavier music. I don't know, total out of left field pick. I think I tried to explain it a little bit better than just it sounds like a Justin Timberlake song. It's more in the vocal delivery than the actual song sounding like a Justin Timberlake song, because it obviously doesn't. It's two completely different genres. And then the rest of the record is just fucking awesome. But like my favorite, hands down, is Prodigy, because it is such a strong song. I'm a huge fan of it. And then Revelation, the Infinite Beauty of Oneness. Listening to that track, it makes sense why our clip from the last interview talking about the future of the band has crept back into our top viewed videos over the past week, over the weekend, because it's literally a good by track to the era that the story that the band made with the last couple of records. Doesn't mean they're done. They literally did a live stream talking about what's next for the band.
Guys, we're so excited.
Yeah, you know, the tours, and that they're still going to be writing and all that. But it's just the end of the story that they were telling with these these you know, past few records. But I noticed that, and I was like, I guess it makes sense. You know, this was like the last, and then I listened to the last song, and I was like, that makes so much sense why that video is crept back up again.
Exactly, because people are trying to figure out what the hell is happening.
Yeah, but all in all, I think that it's an incredibly solid record. I think that they really like, because when they were talking about like the dark and the light kind of concept, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Like, they nailed the heavy, but I don't know how I'm personally going to enjoy the light and how light they're gonna go. But I think they did a fantastic job and really nailed it, and I wound up enjoying it a lot more than I initially expected. We didn't really get to follow the rollout because it kind of happened over the break. So we basically heard one single and then boom, album. There were obviously a couple of singles, but we only listened to one, and then boom, record. But yeah, they fucking nailed it. Let me know if anyone agrees with my Justin Timberlake comparison, or tell me if I'm stupid. Let me know. Sound off.
There's no in between. There's yes, that's exactly what I know.
Or what the fuck are you talking about?
Your ears fucking clogged, man. What the hell's wrong with you? No, I think this album is incredible. I went into it knowing that it was going to be the lighter side, and as I mentioned previously, as I was interrupting Shane as he was making a very good point, I said, "Oh, we talked about it in the album of the year discussion too." That was on Eviscerate, was on my album of the year list. I'm pretty sure it was in the top 10. If not, it was in the honorable mentions. But either way, since that recording, it has been streamed even more. I'm very attached to that record. I think it's near perfect. Every fucking track on there is insane. So going into this, I was like, fuck. I love Eviscerate. I'm worried that that's going to muddle how I view Mend, because they are supposed to be paired together. They are brother albums. They're sibling albums. It's the light, it's the dark, it's the good, it's the bad. So it's not like separate it. You can't. You're supposed to view them in the same fucking. You're supposed to look at them at the same time. I do enjoy this record a lot. If I had to pick one, Eviscerate is still my favorite because it's heavier. Because of the heaviness, I feel like it makes the more technical elements shine a lot more, because it's the contrast of the super dark, heavy riffs, and then you have just some fucking beautiful twinkle in there somehow. And I think that is the perfect blend. I think Mend is incredible. I think it's great, and I think I just need more time with it. But it did not hit me and impact me the same way that Eviscerate did the first time I listened to it.
That's fair enough.
Again, maybe if they released Men before they released Eviscerate, maybe I'd be having the opposite fucking talk.
Mhm.
And I'd be saying Eviscerate just isn't as good as Men. But I mean, you can't fucking drop both of them at the same time because I'm still gonna listen to one of them first.
Yeah.
So it's fucked. It's fucked completely. All that to say, my favorite tracks off of this, I completely agree with you on the opener. I love their openers because they did the same thing on Eviscerate. That one is fucking freaky as hell, and I love it so much because it's like almost cultish.
Mhm.
It's just like humming, and it's like like just vocalizing, and
Yeah.
it's creepy. I don't know if that it puts you
It
in
makes you
the
unsettled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, insanely.
Yeah.
It's insanely
And it sets the
unsettling,
tone for the record the same way they did it with this one.
which is incredible. I fucking love this band so much. They're
Yeah.
so good. So my favorites: Kaleidoscope and Restore Me. Yeah, featuring the After Hour. Holy shit! Shout out. And then Prodigy is also incredible. I agree with you on that one. I think that this band is incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed the record. It's just, I really like Eviscerate. Sorry, guys. I really like it.
Really like it.
God, I love that album. Yeah, okay. Haunted Mouths / Kellen Quinn dropped their new single, Further Till We Disappear.
Yes, sir. This is Kellen Quinn's newest solo project, which I was very curious about when it was announced because if you watched the podcast a long time ago when Downer Inc. was rolling out Kellen Quinn's last solo project, we were not fans. We hated everything. They're like,
which is,
we were mean about it.
Very mean about it.
And I haven't went back to the project since. So I've obviously always loved Kellen Quinn's work in Sleeping with Sirens. I respect him so much as a vocalist. I respect a lot of the features he does as well because he's done so many features, and
he just can't stop.
But they're so consistent. The features that we do listen to, because if we listened to and covered every single one, we'd be talking about Kellen Quinn almost weekly.
Yeah, which is so funny. That's awesome. Good job. Good for him. Good for him.
But he's such a consistent vocalist that I was disappointed that I wasn't super into Downer Inc. and was probably projecting that with what I was saying and how mean I was. But so I went into this, I was like, I have to go in with an open mind because it's very obvious that Kellen Quinn is going to do something other that's completely different from Sleeping with Sirens when attempting a solo project, whatever it may be. And I'm just going to go in knowing what happened last time and see what happens. And yes, this is nothing like the Kellen Quinn that I listened to and fell in love with in terms of his band. Hell no. But as I just said, I set the tone with that before I listened to the song. So I knew that he wasn't going to be screaming his head off saying kick me when I'm down. That's such a great song, by the way.
Or maybe I'm better off dead.
Another banger.
Yeah,
two bangers off the same record.
Yeah, I love it.
But I think that this is cool. I think I'm really excited for this project. The album comes out next month, and I think that this track is really cool. It's got a very mellow vibe, but I think Kellen's vocals, really crush it on this. It is 4.5 minutes long, which is always a gripe of mine, especially when the track is on the slower side. But it's not something that's super glaring to me. I think overall it's pretty solid, and as I said, I'm excited to hear this album. I'm actually going into this with a pretty open mind and liking the first single. Not something I'm like routinely going to come back to, but curious to hear the rest of it. I don't hate it.
Exactly. I mean, that's a great start because the first song we listened to by Downer Inc. was both of us just completely.
We might as well just not even listen to the rest of the rollout in the EP.
Exactly. And then he did a collaboration with Machine Gun Kelly, so that was just the nail in the coffin. And I mean, you have to jump ship after that. That's just the next step.
Yeah.
So I thought this song was great. I'm not the biggest person to listen to fucking Sleeping with Sirens. I'm not the biggest Sleeping with Sirens enjoyer. Damn, I fucked that up. That would be you. I think they're just fine. I think they do their job. I think they're a great band. It's just a band that I fully have not gotten into, and I have not been able to indulge in their discography. It's always just been a band that's like, they're over there. I know they're good, and I know if they're in town, I'd see them, but it ends there. So I really don't have any preconceived thoughts or feelings towards Kellen Quinn's music besides I know Sleeping with Sirens is good and I know Downer Inc. was dog shit. So it just kind of landed in right in the middle for this new project because I mean it's a clean slate. I don't want to automatically bring over my thoughts and feelings from his last solo project because if he was going to continue making music like that, he would have just kept the project.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's it. So seeing that he completely rebranded and is trying something new, I was like, okay, I mean, you could only go up from there. Again, we're still digging into it. It's been like 4 years, and I don't remember what it listened to. Like, I don't remember what it sounded like. I don't know. It's funny. I enjoyed this track a lot. I definitely do think it is kind of like a step back from what I thought it was gonna sound like. Just sonically, not what I expected, but I'm not mad at it at all. I think it's nice and definitely a good starting point for us. You can only go up.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear this whole record for sure because the vibe on this track is interesting. So sure. I'm intrigued to hear the whole thing. Architects dropped their new single Black Hole. Brother, when I tell you I am so fucking excited for this album, you do not understand.
I love Architects so much. I'm gonna buy the vinyl. Guys, I'm gonna do it.
She's finally gonna do it. She's gonna buy the vinyl and not cancel this time.
I'm gonna cancel it.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna keep it this time. Guys. Yeah. I'm not scared anymore. I like metalcore. I know I like it.
Dude, this fucking band, this song, the tracks off of this record, I am trying not to listen to them 9 bajillion times each because the album comes out in like 5 weeks and I could not be more excited.
That's so far. I thought you were gonna be like days, and I was gonna be like, really? That snuck up on us quick. Weeks. That sounds. No,
it's the end of. It's the end of February is when it comes out, and I'm like literally counting the fucking days down. I am so goddamn excited for this album.
Needless to say, we both really enjoyed this track. Architects is, I think, one of the couple bands I think that we fully like both enjoy, and we both get excited. On this band.
I am so in on this band.
I love this band so much. Yeah. Shout out Architects. Let's talk.
Shout out Architects. Open invitation to chat about the album here on the podcast and interview. Massive fan. I literally I can't wait to hear this album. And man, so good. So good, and they're so back because the last record was there were some moments that I liked on the album, but overall it's not the one that I revisit when I go to the Architects discography. This one, if the entire album is going to trend the way that these 4 singles have, it's going to be one of my albums of the year. And I'm not one to call my albums of the year early because I say it and then I forget that the shit comes out, but I will 1000% not forget that this album comes out if it smashes the way that these singles have been smashing.
So let's just keep it up, guys.
Keep it up.
Let's keep it up.
Got a lot on
the line.
Yeah,
it's really fucking
You got
exciting.
my album of the year slot on the line. Come on.
Just give us the album. Conquer Divide and Of Virtue dropped their new single Bad Dreams. I love Conquer Divide so much. I love Of Virtue so much. Insane collaboration. Came out of fucking nowhere, in my opinion. I think it works great.
It's a catchy ass song.
Yeah. Conquer Divide is such, they know how to make catchy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but like the first time I heard this track, I was like, holy shit, that chorus. Like it's just it's addictive. I don't know. Yeah. Like I've been jamming the song a lot because I am really digging it. I think that the Conquer Divide and Virtue on a track together, they do so well. The vocals together are really awesome on the tail end of the song, but I just can't get past that chorus. It's playing in my head right now. It's so catchy. We're
it's like a plague.
Yeah, good. But
thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I know we're only a handful of weeks into the year, but like coming in hot in 2025, like this needs to be on Octane. This is one of the best choruses I've heard in a minute. I've really been digging it big time.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Whitechapel dropped the new single Hymns in Dissonance.
This shit, I was locked in to Apex, right? I was listening. I was like, okay, you know, people are over there, shit's going down over there. This shit turns on, lock the fuck out. I'm like, whoa. What is happening in my ears
you lock
right
out
now?
From the game and you're locked in on the music then.
Locked in on the sonic waves of Whitechapel.
Yeah.
And locked out of Apex. I died. So I thoroughly enjoyed this because I was like, what the fuck is playing? And then I paused and, you know, played it because I was full screen on Apex. I was like, Whitechapel. That makes sense. Because it was just so over the top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an immediate like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Great track. Caught my attention.
Yeah.
It completely broke me out of it. Funny as shit. Love the track though. Great track.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fantastic fucking track. It's a long one, but it definitely keeps your attention the entire way. There's enough moving parts where it kind of feels like you're listening to a couple of different songs throughout it. You know, this band smashes for sure. They announced their upcoming record drops at the beginning of March, which in this day and age is not a long time to wait for an album.
No, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, considering it announced, you know, whenever this single dropped, you know, last week. Not a long time to wait. So I'm fucking with that. We'll have it. Mm-hmm. We'll have it before we know it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. God, that's going to be a whirlwind to listen to for me. Truthfully, that's going to be a lot. But I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do it. Coheed and Cambria dropped their new single, Someone Who Can.
Shout out Coheed and Cambria.
Shout out. This shit was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully enjoyed this track a lot. The vocals, fuck. I should have written it down. Something told me to write it down because I was like, this sounds like someone else. And I couldn't put my finger on it, and then I did. So this is just irrelevant. What I'm saying right now, because it provides no actual substance. I'm
Story
just
of our
filling
lives.
the air right now. Story of the podcast, honestly. It's just, you gain nothing from listening to this. It's just, this was good. You should listen to it.
Don't take our word for it.
Just fucking listen to it. Listen to it. I think it's great. Something about the vocals and just the overall arrangement of the track really reminded me of a nostalgic artist. I couldn't tell you who it is.
That's okay, man.
I had it. Again, I was playing Apex. I didn't have time to like pause.
You were locked in.
I was locked in. Because Whitechapel finished and then Coheed and Cambria came on. I was like, oh hell yeah. And it just passed through my head of, oh, this sounds like ooh.
Oh, I'm getting shot at.
Such a good fucking track though. I love Coheed and Cambria and I'm very excited to hear more. More, please. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this track smashes. I've been digging the singles off this upcoming record. Definitely a band that takes a little bit to get into. There's a lot going on with the band, world building, sometimes the tracks can be a little bit more intricate than others. So but I've been digging these tracks so far. I'm excited to, you know, hear this full record knowing that I'm into the singles versus just kind of being a passing by thing, which we've done in the past with previous new Coheed things. It's just like a blip in the radar. So I'm excited to finally be like all in on a Coheed release. I'm stoked. Wind Waker dropped a new single, Arcane. I'm so excited to see this band with Make Them Suffer. This track is fucking awesome. It comes off the expansion pack deluxe edition of their last record. And this is so good. I'm really digging this. You know, I always think that what they put out is solid, but this track in particular, I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, really why wasn't this on the record?
Exactly. Honestly, as a person who's listened to the record hundreds of times, not an exaggeration, that was, I think, my fourth on my album of the year, number 4 on my album of the year list. I understand why it isn't, because Hyperviolence has such, I mean, it's hyper. It has a lot of super fast in your face tracks. And while this is a very good song, I do think it's like one level under everything else. So it didn't quite reach it, but I think it's fucking crazy. I love it a lot. I love this band more than I could ever explain. And and I think they have one more track coming. Didn't they say? I know they have one more, and I think it's gonna be the hype track. I don't know. I can't remember. Guys, I'm excited either way. You should just send it to me. Guys, I love hyperviolence. The rules. Like, come on, dude. Yeah, I was there for that. I was there for that. God, fuck. Okay, sorry. I'm getting into just Wind Waker. Dead Rabbits dropped their new single, Artificial Gods.
I love when metalcore and electronic music come together. Now, this band that I'm about to mention is not a metalcore band, but one of my favorite Korn records is when Korn goes dubstep. They have an entire dubstep album, and it is obviously super divisive. It's called the Path of Totality. Of course,
so dramatic.
Of course, it's super divisive, that record in the fan base, but it was so fresh and new and very experimental, and I love that record. It's definitely a product of its time, but I love that record. So like this song for me, this Dead Rabbit song, gives me the vibe and the feeling that I get listening to that record, because although this isn't super in your face, the electronic elements are very much prevalent in this song, although it's not as there as like dubstep would be, but that's kind of the vibe I got listening to this, and I was like, damn, that is so fucking cool, because not many people have tried to do that since Korn did it. Korn did it, and then it was kind of like over.
Everyone got scared. They said, guys, that didn't go well. Let's just
they put out a live record around that album too. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I could talk about the Path of Totality for hours. I love that album. You're a fan. You're genuinely love that record. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man. We all have that one record where it's like everyone fucking hates this, but god damn it, I would.
We all have our guilty pleasures, you know.
Exactly. That's fair. Your news is just fucking dubstep metal. Korn, you know, it's we all have it. No, I completely agree. It caught my ear immediately because I was like, oh wow, this is fucking dubstep metal core. You don't see that often. This is so fun. I thought it was great. I'm always a big fan of Dead Rabbits. Craig from Escape the Fate, I think, is very talented. I think he has a lot of fucking potential. He's able to create just a very diverse collection of music effortlessly. It sounds fucking incredible every time. This is no different. Artificial Gods, massive thumbs up. Caught me off guard, but fuck, it won me over by the end. I was, man, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Massive hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Hands Like Houses dropped their new single, Fatally Fractured. Album drops here in February. Excited because we've been talking about the EPs that have been rolling into this album for a long time. For a very long time. So I'm excited to finally hear this album in full. This one is another banger. It's one of my favorites. It's up there as one of my favorites off of all of the tracks that we've heard so far. But I'm very excited to finally get the full package, be able to revisit the songs that we heard at the top of last year. And basically like have a second life with them, because they aren't, you know, these small EPs that I know are going to turn into something greater are just not things I spend a lot of time with, because I would rather spend time with them when it's album time. Therefore, that way I'm not like listening to 4 songs obsessively on an album, and instead can spend time with a full body of work. So yeah, I'm excited.
Hell yeah. I thought this song was great. I think it's such a great vibe. I like how it starts off slowly in the beginning and just like builds until like towards the second half, obviously it just gets really big, almost anthemic. I think it's fucking awesome. It just turns into like a bigger song than you would think. I love Hands Like Houses. I think they're great. Fucking thumbs up. I'm very excited for the album. I'm like insanely excited for the record.
Hell yeah.
Should be good. Not Enough Space dropped their new single, Solace in Silence.
Oh yeah, and this wraps us up here with the last topic. Not Enough Space, you know, they blew up. They've been gaining a shitload of traction off the last single, where they created Moancore, and that song is fantastic.
Shout out that song.
But it's, you know, after the craziness of that song, and that being a very in-your-face song, even without you know, the very obvious portion of the song that went mega viral, it is cool to see like them come off of that and do a song like this that is very much more just like, it's a fantastic song, that's not the discredit, but it's not this big in your face like trying to continue to do that. Like it's just a metalcore song. It's a very solid one at that, but it doesn't have this big like moment on the song that's like the clickbaity portion of it to get
the TikTok moment.
There's plenty of moments on this record or on this track that could do that, but there's not that big
glaringly obvious, like oh, you made that for TikTok,
like the last track had. So I thought that was cool and refreshing, because I didn't know where it was going to go after that track, just because of the moment that they had. But yeah, the song was good. I've been following the band for a minute, because they opened for Eidola, so I'm excited to see where this goes, and as things kind of progress, expecting an album at some point this year, or at least an EP, some sort of body of work, that I'm very excited for. Know nothing about it. Don't even know if it's really happening. I'm just expecting. You don't sign a record deal for no reason, to put out singles. Hey man,
we're just excited over
we're
here.
We're just the excited duo.
Exactly. We're just the excited boys.
Yeah. We should put that. That should be our new bio.
One girl.
Excited boys. In parentheses, one girl, one boy.
One girl, one boy. So we're not boy guys. Yeah. Oh,
but yeah, I'm excited. I'm an excited boy. What can I say?
Dude, consider me also an excited boy, girl. I think this song is fucking awesome. It has that really fucking. It is in your face, but it's not like offensively in your face, like it's like it's something fucking catchy. It's something that you could fucking tap your foot to, shake some ass to. I think it's great, and it has a fucking nasty ass little breakdown, little sassy, little sexy breakdown at the end. I fuck with it, heavy. I like it. Let's do more nasty, sassy, sexy breakdowns in 2025, guys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Twitter. It's Good Noise _Cast. Instagram is Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. YouTube is Good Noise Podcast. All your streaming services are Good Noise Podcast. And Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Gloria's got your Patreon supporters, your Twitch subs, your important plugs, your merch plug, your Amazon storefront plug. Then we're going to sign off.
Oh, dude. Holy shit.
I got that memorized.
Fuck, dude, and now I'm like, well, fuck, what do I do? Check out our merch. It is goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. Check out our Amazon storefront. It has all of our equipment that we use to create and produce the podcast. It has monitors, it has mics, it has headphones, etc., etc. Awesome shit. And if you buy something, we get a commission from that, and that helps us continue the podcast. That pays for our equipment that we use, our subscriptions that we use to do the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters, Matt from Pulses, Pop Punk Apologist, David Arrington, Tyson from Healed Hurt, and Eric. And then thank you to our Twitch sub, Matt again from Pulses. Shout out, Matt. Thank you.
Shout out, Matt. Thank you, everybody.
Important plugs. Black Lives Matter. Stop Asian Hate. Palestine and Israel did come to a ceasefire. I believe it was the 19th of January 2025. That's awesome. I believe Israel is releasing the hostages. They're doing like a fucking slow drip of releasing the hostages. Who the fuck knows why? So there's some sort of relief there, but there's still a lot of discourse, and there's still a war that has been happening for the last 70 years. So just because a ceasefire has happened does not mean all is well, everything's sunny. There's still a bunch of families and people that are in need and that are still suffering because of that. So definitely keep your eye out on that, and just be aware, you know, if you can't fucking donate, it's just, you know, don't forget, because that shit's real. Support your local bands, be a decent person, and try to be kind. Try. Doesn't hurt. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, that's all we have for you today. We're going to be streaming on YouTube now, which is so fun. We're streaming on Twitch and YouTube for the time being. Testing it out, see what's going on. So you can catch us on either platform on Monday nights, which is really exciting stuff. But other than that, I've been Shane.
I've been Gloria.
And we've been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.